starts getting out of hand.
Oh, sorry. No, because I was
just mentioning that MMY had a really tough game, I think, on the Rasta. Super did a great job at focusing him every time in the fight, and later on focused the Tinker. So great game from Super as well.
I just want to give a sense of gravity here to what's going to happen right now, because this is a match for at least third place. Whoever gets eliminated is going to be fourth. What does it mean to get at least third place? Third place will get more than $1 million. That's more than TA1 and TA2 champions. Second place, they get around $1.5 million, which is more than TA3 champions got. And if you get the first place, that's 5. Every single one of your guys is going to be a millionaire after this guy. So a lot riding on this game and a lot of momentum going into the fight versus potentially EG and then Newbie.
Yep.
Team DK's turn to pick.
Production value. What? EG versus VG. No, they showed the bracket earlier.
And that is, of course, Vici Gaming facing DK here for the second game in the best of 3. Vici Gaming 1 game up, looking to, of course, take it a 2-0. DK fighting for their lives here in the International 4. Drafts on the way, DK managed to get themselves a Razor. And so far, nothing really unfamiliar, though we do see the Nature's Prophet banned out after last game.
Yeah, that's new. Not surprising, but new. I mean, Sider has been playing really well on that Nature's Prophet, so it actually makes sense to see DK ban that Nature's Prophet. The Razor pick looked to be really important for both teams. I think DK doesn't rely as much as Vici does on the Razor, but that was a deny pick, and the Lich first pick, that's really interesting. Okay,
wow.
So that's clear.
We take a bit of a step back in history, I believe, and we've seen dual lanes, I believe, with Morphling Lich, am I correct?
Yeah, it happened a lot in the mid lane, and they actually ran that red before, like 2 games ago now, or 3 games ago, I don't remember, the Lich morphing mid. And it's interesting because it also allows the Lich to rotate sometimes to the off lane, whether it's to gank or to just deny creep, so it helps 2 lanes at the same time, because morphling doesn't need Lich babysitting him for ages. Giving him a fast start with the bottle is actually like usually enough.
Yeah.
What are you going to put up against this duo? Good.
Well, a lot of teams turn to the Elder Titan to try and shut down the Morphling. Ancient Apparition is pretty good too, so that he can't morph out. There are other options like Necrophos, but not terribly popular.
There's a blue hero lineup for both teams.
The thing is that when you reveal your cards that early, when you're Vici, I mean, they didn't reveal everything, but Lich Morphling is kind of, you know, it's special to open with that. Against DK with that counter picks all the time, it's a bit risky, I think. Now DK just needs to figure out what they want to get. One way to deal with the Lich is actually to get an Enchantress. It's something Lanham plays a lot, and it actually allows you to gank, because the Lich lane is fine until they die. If they die, the XP gain means nothing. So you need to actually gank that Lich lane.
So what is Vici going to aim for this game? Are they going to go for like any sort of push at all? Or are they going to go for another like pusher support like Venomancer or Shadow Shaman?
To be honest, I have no idea. Right now they could go for anything basically. The only thing is going full team fight versus Razor AA is probably not the best option, so I would rather say something more gank oriented.
The good thing about Vici is that even when they get heroes that are not apparently to just finish the match quickly, they're able to do so just because they play so aggressive. They just, as long as they get one hero that can get there in the fight. Morphling, he still has waveform, does quite a lot of damage. It's hard to kill. Leech, if you get a good chain frost, you can make a difference. You might not want to go full team fight against Razor and Ancient Apparition, but get super really good hero, something that he can just be in your face and be annoying with, maybe a Viper, maybe something like that. Vici Gaming can ride into domination.
Indeed, I feel like if there's one team in the tournament that instantly sees any opening to push or to end the game, it's Vici Gaming. Whenever they can get a tower, they get it. Whenever they can end the game, they end it. As simple as that. So even if they don't have a pushing lineup, we can be looking them like they might be looking to push regardless of that.
Yeah, and they're very confident in when they high ground stage, definitely the most confident of the teams here. And the way that Newbie approached Vici was trying to take Super out of his comfort zone with the hero. They never gave him Razor, I believe, and they just gave him heroes that they relied on before, like Dragon Knight, and it just didn't work out too well for them just because they're so used to giving him Razor almost every game.
Yeah, definitely. So this time he won't have the Razor. He won't have the. Actually, they didn't ban superheroes, so he still has heroes to play. But as you mentioned, it's going to be a DK Razor. It's really tough to say what even DK is going to do. Right now, they can do whatever they want as well. It looks like Vici is just afraid of a five-man lineup like they used earlier versus who was it? It was. Remember?
I think it was last game.
Yeah, it was the last game. Yeah, versus LGD. Yeah, they had the Tide Razor, AA, SK kind of lineup, so that won't happen again.
Won't they be scared of a Faceless Void pickup? They have an Ancient Apparition combo with them. It's decent versus them. And they ban out the Earthshaker, which is decent against Chronosphere.
Yeah, we were actually wondering the same versus LGD. Looks like they're not interested into getting that Void, although it actually synergizes pretty well, as you mentioned.
DK actually has Void as one of their most picked heroes at the moment. Not one of their most successful ones, but definitely one that they use a lot. I would actually like to see for DK also a Rubik. We're talking about shutting down Morphling. We know that Ancient Apparition is great against Morphling. Rubik as well, of course, because if you can manage to steal that Morph, very strong. And overall...
Unless you go full agility.
Yeah, let's assume that teams playing in international don't make that mistake.
But it's cool. You attack really fast. You get a lot of armor as well.
Carry Rubik.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, don't do that at home, kids. It's not fun, especially against an Invoker. An Invoker is a hero that we haven't seen for quite a while. Super has played in the past. Mushi has played. Mushi played every hero, right?
Ice plays it, of course.
Yeah, Ice of course plays it as well. And the thing is that it's one of those heroes that can fit any kind of lineup right now. If they want to go full team fight, he will help. He can also help split push by going next door. He can make sure that you can win both lanes if you get a good lane by yourself and someone else. It's a Shadow Shaman and a Rubik. You call the Rubik.
I'm patting myself on the shoulder.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
have a smile that can't be hidden anywhere. Yeah, but that is a great call actually. Rubik creates so much opportunity, and it's a little bit of lockdown that's necessary as well, because Ancient Apparition and Razor, they just don't have any way to stop the enemies. Cold Feet needs something else to rely on that. But now if you put Telekinesis and Cold Feet together, you might have some potential to get some other kills.
I like how DK picks supports that he can actually move around with. Last game they had a Beastmaster. You can't really get any kills until level 6. He went for a max call, the wild build, which is, nice with the board. But AA and Rubik, you just telekinesis one with the cold feet with +1, and it should be an easy kill.
This is again an aggressive challenge from DK. But the thing is that Vici Gaming, right now DK still didn't answer to the opening of Vici Gaming. The Lich Morph is going to do a lot of work if DK doesn't, keeps on ignoring that.
ROTK Clockwork is something of a legend. He picked it so much at TI3 last year. He was kind of a staple at that hero when the hero was the off-laner. Again, it really fits the team and it really fits the player. You met him yesterday, some of you that didn't know him before at the All-Stars match. He's this kind of a in-your-face kind of player. That Clockwork is going to be so annoying. Granted, it doesn't really have any kind of hero that he wants to go for right now. Maybe the Ancient Apparition, but the Ancient Apparition is going to probably be far behind. But again, it's kind of a zoning hero. If you have a Clockwork, you have a call, so you call when you want to team fight and when you can't.
I really feel like DK is in big trouble right now because the Clockwork is going to get XP no matter what. The Lich Morph is going to destroy any of the heroes they have right now unless they find a solution. There's the Faceless Void. But they have really weak lanes, DK.
Yeah.
And Vici is going to dominate. They might dominate all 3 lanes here. And that's actually a problem. Unless the only solution for me, for DK, is that they go triple offensive. But then you might...
Faceless Void.
Yeah, and you might be being offensive versus a Morph that's not going to die, going to get XP regardless. I don't know, it's a bit troublesome. I feel like Vici Gaming has the upper hand right now.
What if you put Faceless Void on the safe lane, Razor mid, and still pick something else with Ancient Apparition and Rubik? Although you will allow Morphling to farm mid, because then the supports, of course, cannot rotate as much.
If Razor stays mid versus Lich Morph, he's gonna get destroyed.
And Clockwork will do whatever he wants against the Faceless Void as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think that can work.
So we have to have a magical last pick from DK here. Here. Although they first have to, of course, ban a hero out still for Vici Gaming to play. They lack kind of a mid-game hero next to the Clockwork. They lack a superhero, and I do mean the player, not superhero. But what do you think they're gonna get?
It might also be. The thing is that it's hard to say because I thought Styler is going to play the Morphling, right? Can actually Super play the Morphling?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
Although I'm going to expect Sylar for the
Right now,
moment.
Vici Gaming is looking great. They should just get something that's safe, I think, with the Rasta, because in the case DK goes aggressive, could be anything. Just something that Ember was okay. I think maybe even a bottom might work at this point. Anything that can actually lane.
Yeah, Vici Gaming, they put themselves in the position where they already have whatever they want from the draft. Whatever is here is just going to be the cherry on top. And it's going also to dictate how fast or how late they want to finish. They can go for something that's safe and farms, and then you have a super ultra late game that can still hold on in the mid game, or you can go for something that gets level 6 and just goes to fight, and that is what the Death Prophet provides, right?
That works. Then it's
Yes.
going to be the Morphling on the safe lane, which is a safe option, and the Death Prophet on the mid lane. I think it's a really good choice from Vici Gaming. Now this gives them a lot of pushing potential. So if they win the lane, this can transition to push.
At the same time, they don't have really anything really good to prevent the Death Prophet from getting initiated on. They're really scared of like a Bat initiate, a Tide Hunter initiate, banning those heroes out. But Faceless Void, if he jumps on them, there's nothing really to save him.
That's
No
true.
Vengeful Spirit swap like we've seen before.
Yeah, Death Prophet is going to have a tough game. That's for
5
sure.
seconds remaining.
And now DK's last pick has to be really good, because right now they're going to be in trouble.
Reserve time.
Maybe they can afford just going super greedy, even though you have a Shadow Shaman and Death Prophet. Maybe it's a gambit, but at the same time, if you go for a safe pick right now, will you be able to stop Wards and Exorcism pushing for you? I don't think with that lineup you really can.
What can DK can? It's really tough to... Like, the Razor can be safe lane or mid. So does the Face of Void can be safe lane as well, or off lane.
I would like to see just like early fighter, not something really heavy farmer like AM, maybe something like a Gyrocopter, Luna, something like that.
Or Queen Pink.
That's okay.
Yes.
Well deserved applause right here for that one. That should be a very enjoyable pick and a very enjoyable hero to watch and needed as well, so that they can actually determine the tempo of this game, I think.
LANM and MMY will have to roam this game. They will have to find openings and kills. If they don't and it stays really static, Vici Gaming will look really, really strong.
Yeah, it is really DK that will be the one to try to look for most kills, while Vici Gaming are kind of in their comfort zone and will wait for their right timing, as they normally do, go for control and timing. Let's see if DK can mess them up a little bit, as we are going into the second game of this best of 3 series, Vici Gaming versus DK. Over to the commentators.
Thank you very much. We are back here again. Vici Gaming going up against DK. I'm
10
Toby1,
seconds
and
remaining.
joining me is Luminous. You might remember us from the last game. We'll
5
come back.
seconds remaining.
We didn't really actually go anywhere. We just
Yeah, we didn't. We stayed around. We took lovely people that are behind us.
Shout out to the,
they come out here
fans
every
of the
time.
game.
Yeah.
Without you guys, we're not here.
Yeah, we'd have no reason to be here in Seattle. But we have a reason to be inside the game.
That's harsh. Seattle's a nice place.
Prepare
That's
for
true.
battle.
That's true. I visited here without having to be here for the international. So yes, it's very nice. Into the game we go. So DK, they're the ones playing from behind the 8 ball. They are down by 1 game. They must win this to force it into a far decider. If they lose it, they're out of the international floor and taking home a measly $800,000.
A little bit over 800,000. Yeah.
Something like that.
That's not what they signed up for.
place.
They signed up for the prize, the big #1 finish. Not even the money, just the pride, the prestige of winning TI4. We'll see if they're going to get it. As predicted, the lane seems to be a mid-Death Prophet. Or actually, hold on. Super is on the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, it looks like they want to try and run what looks to be
A mid-clockwork.
It's going to be a dual off lane with both the Shadow Shaman, who's hovering
30
around. He's got boots
seconds to
first, so he's going
battle.
to try and make some space here for Super, and then just babysit him there. Fenrir is going to be switching himself between the top as well as the mid. And in fact, we got ROTK and Sylar both still deciding where they're headed off here. Considering ROTK is going to head top lane, Sylar's going to be in that middle lane, and Fenrir, he can grab one creep and then just find himself a different lane. But that means we've got what? Ice off lane Void going up against an ROTK movement. You got MMY and LANM doing what our panel was
battle
asking them to do, and
begins.
that's like rotate themselves around the potential aggro tri lane. Mushi then in the middle lane is the Queen of Pain, and that leaves Burning as the safe lane Razor, but he has an exposed safe lane Razor.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough lane for the Razor to be in, because he's dealing with 2 heroes that could harass very well, that could punish very well by pushing the lane or making tower dives. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, it's the Lich and Morphling as expected. Queen of Pain's going to have a tough time, so the two supports need to get a successful gank, ideally on the Lich. But Fenrir knows this. All he needs to do is stay back and don't die.
Well, Lanham as well as MMY are prepping themselves, and where they, okay, they're switching up. Like, they're behind the tier 1 tower. If they're going to go for this kill, they would have stayed in the dire side of the creep wave. Maybe they're waiting for the Lich just to be a little bit too far out, and then they can go for him, because there's no point going in the Morphling. Once he waveforms, the positional change is too much for DK to follow.
Yeah, they're actually clicking on Sylar, making sure that if he has selected Morph and he has used Morph, if that was the case, that means no waveform. You could walk in with the slow of the Shadow Strike and just go for a kill. But Sylar smartly not picking any spells just yet, making sure that he does have the access of waveform if necessary.
Man, Burning's actually be really careful on this bottom lane. Like, once the levels come up in Crypt Swarm, with Ether Shock as well, that's a lot of range, just nuke damage that can come the way of a 644 life point hero. It's not really a hell of a lot to play around with. So he's just going to be a little bit more cautious about things, and well, at least the pulls come out here from DK. It's a semi-pull, you know, he only managed to grab one of the heroes. That's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is going to bring the creep wave down just a little bit closer. And Super and FY, it's almost like Super with that Crypt Swarm, he's forcefully pushing the lane into the tier 1 tower, so it bounces back again.
I'm just looking very closely on this mid matchup here. Mushi is essentially 1v2 in this particular lane, but he's outlasting. This is one of Mushi's best heroes. Last year, representing Orange, he did a ton of work making deep runs into the tournament. Let's see how well he's going to...
FY, Lanham's coming down right now, but the shock drops into half-life. The Frost Blast hits on 2 Super Crypt Swarm. Need more damage here to Lanham. FY's right behind the attack up the hill. It misses from Fenrir, but it won't miss from the Death Prophet. He'll take the kill, and FY going in deep here on MMY.
He's got the advantage.
He's got enough for Shackle as well in a moment, and then with the shock, I don't know if it will be a full enough with Lanham also arriving, but 170 life points, and he holds on to the Ether Shock.
Just a little bit extra harass. I mean, as expected, Vici's going to have a superior laning phase. Getting the first blood is a nice bonus. Mid needs to dominate for Mushi, and so far he's doing it at least on the CS war, but that's not really how Queen of Pain works. She really needs to dominate on the CS and also by getting kills. So we'll have to kind of wait and see whether Mushi will deliver on that front.
I'm also trying to keep my eyes over on ROTK as well as Ice. 11 for 3 up against a 10 for 1. The battle for farm is immense, and ROTK is holding on to this last point of mana. He's basically got one set of cogs left or one rocket left. He can't find enough space to basically use this clarity of his. So he can only rely on one of these things until he gets to RPG, and then he won't see any kind of control. While Mushi, middle lane, waveform from Sylar.
Oh,
Comes
nice
a little
dodge.
too late. Mushi was able to blink. He had time then. He could have waveformed before that point.
With that said, though, Mushi is burning a ton of regens, and having a dual mid lane is nice in the sense that Fenrir, for example, he could actually go check for the regen and deny the regen.
Oh, Lanham. I thought he was going to cut through the tree line and move up and grab him. Because Burning was right behind him with the static link. I know it's only level 1, but with the 2-point Plaster Field and the ultimate, the buff up with the Chilling Touch, they should have had enough damage to get through.
Yeah, the problem is that Super moves so very quickly. He didn't have face boot before that gank, but just with a single boots and a point to Witchcraft, he will outmove that Rubik that doesn't even have boots. And now with the face boots available, Super could in theory stay in the lane by himself and out-harass the 2 supports. So Vici Gaming is really free to do what they want with the 2 supports. In fact, they're coming onto the mid lane. No, they're not. Just harassing.
Yeah, it's just rotations coming out. Fenrir can move himself around. Super, he came out for the rune, and that's why you also saw Fenrir move himself a little further north there. They're waiting for one rune, and the better rune to give it over to is going to be FY. So with that invis, he can make something happen across the map. This top lane is still battling it out. ROTK versus Ice. We have Hook shot up shortly for ROTK. We have Chrono shortly up for Faceless Void. And
Mushi, he's going to get shackled.
Oh, he got body block. He got body block. They had to know he was there. Now the waveform will come. Frost Blast and the Crypt Swarm. Wow, so much range damage they can dish out.
That's a very uncharacteristic mistake of Mushi because he had Observer War in the bottom lane. That's just a scene of the invisibility rune getting picked up. That's a huge mistake to give up. Queen of Pain's a snowball hero. What that means, oh, hold that thought, Ice.
He's okay.
Yeah.
While he's still got Chrono, he's going to have so much confidence to be so far up on the top lane that he really won't care about rotations from BG.
It's horrible to give kills as the Queen of Pain because you want the enemy support to be as low level as possible when you make those initial ganks. And now that she's died, she has essentially delayed the level 6. She has gave away more experience. I'm not sure how Mushi and DK by extension is going to recover in this.
Mushi in trouble. Shackles again. Waveform again with the Frost Blast. Got more than enough damage to kill him off. This is just a crippling Queen of Pain right now. And Sylar pushing through the levels. Mushi's only just cracked level 5. When you think about it, Mushi was still solo up against the dual lane. And the sacrifice is already taking away half of that. And then you've got Sylar just pushing him out, getting a couple of kills, keeping him off the lane. And you have basically what was a dual lane hero at a higher level than your solo hero. This is a major problem for DK. Their Queen of Pain is not coming in to be any kind of powerhouse. It's a level 5. You got 113 as the build. You still need to wait till level 7 before she's going to have enough damage where she can legitimately kill somebody off. Even Shadow Shaman as well as Lich should be able to survive through that.
Yeah, and generally when you're ganking as a Queen of Pain, it's really helpful when your other allies has high burst nukes. I mean,
Super gonna die. There goes your Chrono. They got some more coming out from Lano. RTK! He hookshotted him, but he got blocked in by the Chrono of Ice. And now Super locked out. Maybe Mercy there's just sting. Queen of Pain will take a much needed kill coming her way. DK finally on the board 6 minutes in.
If RTK connected that hook, Super lives, then maybe Rubik dies actually, but...
Oh, he connected the hook.
Yeah, it just
he connected on Rubik and just got caught on the side of the Chrono. The mini summon's still there. Muchi's taking a lot of damage again from Sylar. For all the kills he gets in the middle lane, he still has to burn through all of his bottle charges, and Sylar doesn't have to expend anything apart from, what, one waveform? 160 mana, not that difficult.
Yeah, sometimes as a mid, you just get ganked a lot, and you get killed, and that's just part of the game. The problem with Mushi dying is that it's too easy. Yeah, Shadow Shaman just walked up to him and shackled. Like, you gotta at least make him work for it, because if they're not working for it, that means the other lanes for Vici are going extremely well as well. The only saving grace that DK has going for them is the fact that Burning is the lead farmer in this game. But Razor's not one of those heroes that's a hyper carry in the sense that he could entirely take over a game by himself. So I'm still extremely worried for DK, given the start that the entire team had.
The funny thing is though, like, you look through all your grants, okay, we're 7 minutes in, but it's 0 on the experience, and it's only like 350 on the gold. There's not that much difference between these two teams. You'd think with the 3-1, it really feels, watching the game, that it's a very commanding performance coming out from Vici Gaming. Like, they're the ones who are in control. Like, Sylar's getting big. Like, Lynch control at the middle lane. Like, Queen of Pain doesn't really seem to have much hope for anything. But MMY as well as Lanham are working their butts off right now.
Yeah.
They've got themselves stacks. They're power leveling up Mushi. He's not gonna, well, then again, okay. I thought for a moment he'd use Sonic Wave to farm up the just the stack, because he can't finish it with his Scream. One more, actually, he probably can with one last Scream, but now the replicate of Morphling, if he jumps in on this one with waveforms, he'll take two of these, and there it is, and he's going to take out, oh, actually, he missed the last one. The rocket came in from Clockwork.
Yeah. Well, he still got the experience. I mean, they share the experience, but Sylar being able to steal away a ton of gold away from DK, that's huge. It's true that, you know, the experience graph is fairly even, but I think that's actually quite deceptive. If you open the level graph for both teams, I'd much rather be Vici's position having much higher level supports, especially Shadow Shaman hitting 6. By contrast, look at the Rubik, look at the Ancient Apparition, they're at 3 and 4 respectively.
Clockwork, top lane, he got Ice. He has to leave himself away. There's not enough mana for Chrono. He's got by 1 point. Now he's got enough. He's got to get past the comps. He's back. Ice, taking too much damage, but Burning with that static link over an RTK. The Iron Storm, though, is being soaked up by the creep phase. He needs his fire to put off cooldown, but he's still short by 20 mana. He's got his one charge, and RTK bottles up and escapes away. That was extra 112 damage as well, which Burning was able to soak out from him. And Mushi, he's coming up with a kill. He can actually blink, scream, not enough mana for Sonic Wave. Yeah, the bottle, and there she goes! Through the tree line for Mushi. Was able to pick up the Clockwork. Able to work with the tank on the half empty.
Huge kill. Much better that he got the kill solo there than sharing it with his teammate. He needs every drop of experience that he can get.
Under attack.
He's also going to need a little bit more Chrono. Middle lane, found FY. And Zai. He time walked himself into this one. MFY trying to give a little bit extra support, but FY will go down. And now they can actually gain a little bit more pressure towards this tier 1 tower. DK are working their way back into this game slowly. The advantage is coming back. And with these kills, so are the levels. MMY is now on top. He's 201 points away of experience from his level 6. And when we start adding Ice Blast into the mix, things are going to change across the map.
I think that's huge. Given the fact that you could use Ice Blast and Chronosphere as a 1-2 punch, as a ganking tool, you get kills free. It is so easy to actually get those kills, and of course we've been seeing Mushi picking up 3 kills now for his team. Looks like Tier 1's going to be under a little bit of trouble with DK. They're not giving up without a fight. They can fight right now very easily.
RTK, he's got a hook shot. He's looking for the hit on Mushi. He's actually baited it twice, but didn't finish the job. Popped his Invis rune instead. They need to creep keep the quick wave pushed out. There's not enough experience in FY just yet. Meanwhile, Morphling waveforming away. Mushi's playing around with him. But remember, he doesn't have ultimate, and now with the replicate on the field, Mushi's going to fling himself away. Hookshot actually goes onto the replicate, not Mushi himself, so he was capable of blinking himself down and away. And then Bottle charges back up again, but in the meantime, the Mass Serpent wards are down after the crop ulti has worn off, and the tier 1 tower belongs to
Radiant's
Vici.
middle tower has fallen.
This is what Vici will be able to do continuously every time those cooldown. We've seen this combo so much. Shadow Shaman as well as Death Prophet. They could take Roshan easily, they could take the towers easily. We still haven't seen DK having an answer for that in the draft at the very least, so that's something that our
Dire's
analysts
top
asked.
tower is under
And it seems
attack.
like DK has yet to deliver an answer for it.
Just an insanely small thing, but I just want to give props to FI for using his Mass Serpent wards to deny his own Mass Serpent wards.
Oh, that's huge, man.
DK came up to try and farm a couple of them, and he, like, one of them got taken, and one of them he actually denied himself. So, small thing, but little thing.
9 out of 20 gold. That's a 40 gold swing.
Huge.
That's a lot.
Drastic changes. But still working in towards that mech of his. Still a long way off, and we actually got a hand of Midas coming out to Ice Ice Ice. So our off-lane Faceless Void, not going for Mask of Madness, not going for Treads, is actually going in for a Midas build.
Dire's
I actually
middle
like this quite a
tower
bit.
is under
He's
attack.
essentially a walking Chronosphere. Whenever he has it up, he's going to go with it for a gank. It doesn't matter if he doesn't do any damage right now, because he's not expected to.
Smoke from Vici. They don't realize, though, that DK is also smoked up. Random Smoke's going to break on FY, and FY's, of course, vice versa. The rocket will be gone, and he hook-shots both of them! He doesn't know what he actually picked up until that point, but you're right, Chrono now goes off. Egg on him on flying too. RTK, Ice, get out of there! Not in there, though! The Lich only follows him! Burning is bouncing up and away from the Freak Wave, and the Rune comes back down to him. Loves at the eye of the storm. Waveform from Morphling, killing off Faceless Void from the tree line. Burning goes down as well, and DK. It became a disaster after it looked like a dream.
That Team Frost is slow 3 or 4 heroes. They only have lost 2, but those are the key 2, right? You get the Midas to get the levels on Faceless Void, and here comes yet another tower push, because coincidentally,
Radiant's top
all of
tower
those
is under
ultimates are right back up. Yep. I think they might go for 2.
Dire's
FY
middle
is
tower
not
is
dropping his ult.
He should hold him. The Super's ultimate is still only a level 1 exorcism from Death Prophet. Oh, Courier in middle lane, Mushi. He's got blink of cooldown.
Radiant's
He's going to
top tower
get into
has
the tree
fallen.
line if he wants to take the Courier, which he will not do.
Dire's
And the top
middle
tower is
tower
gone.
is under
Not to
attack.
mention Clockwork. If he blinked at the tree line, he was dead. There was no hook shot there, but
I wonder what
keep tracks.
what Vici Gaming is saving this particular Mass Serpent Ward usage for. Maybe are they thinking about the
Roche?
Roshan? Yeah. I mean, Chronosphere just got spent not too long ago. If they want to go in there, they can actually break it down quite quickly.
Yeah, there's no reason why they couldn't tank it up. Then again, Lich, he's also not at the point of Frost Armor just yet. 2 points sacrifice, 4 points to Frost Blast. But there's a lot of survivability still coming in.
Yeah, they got the down Lich. They're going for it.
Well, Vici Gaming, they can make sure that bottom lane's pushed out before they fully go for that, because Mushi was adding a little bit of momentum towards it. But FY, yeah, he's holding the Mass Serpent wards for exactly that. And really, what does DK have to scout out for it? There's only one ability on the map which can let them do it safely, and that's Ancient Apparition. It's Ice Blast.
A large part of it is deterrence by fear. Like, if you just are afraid of the Chrono Ice Blast combo, you won't want to go for engagement like that, but you won't be afraid of it if the Chrono's down. And I think that's exactly why Vici Gaming is choosing to take the engagement right now. And Chrono is now technically up, but perhaps a little bit too late at this point.
Yeah, it is. Roshan's basically down, but then again, they're on their way. Smoked up DK. But Roshan, now
has
he's gone.
fallen to
Morphling
the
is the
tower.
Aegis, the Immortal. FY is TPing out, and Syla, well, yeah, she makes a replica of the disappearing Shadow Shaman. But the question is now for DK, do they try and force this, knowing the Mass Serpent wards will probably be down, knowing that the Crop ulti is still only level 1? Do they just try and get a pick off? Because if they can get that, Chronosphere out in Syla with the AA ulti before and hold him there before he's able to replicate away.
I mean, if
Maybe
you want
not.
to spend all those spells to kill an Aegis, I think Vici Gaming's fine with that, because now with the Blink Dagger as well as Clockwork, they will chase you down after your spells are spent. So, perhaps not the best plan to go for the Syla with Aegis. In fact, it's going to be Vici Gaming that might be threatening mid-tower fight now. Or not. They're going to go back and farm more.
Yeah. Give us some time, man. Give us some time. VG Gaming are 1 win away from facing up against EG. They're not going to risk anything, and they don't need to. Like, even with the combos
Dire's
which
top
DK
tower
have got,
is under attack.
with the Faceless Void, obviously it's going to be a massive problem, but you're still going to back yourself for a good mid-game timing push. So you just wait it out, and you just force it out. But you've lost no towers again. Vici Gaming still have only lost, I believe, one Tier 1 tower in this entire series. And it may remain that way, because DK, they've got to win a fight before they can push. Because they don't have a tower destroyer until the Razor gets attacked. It's down middle lane, there it is, side. And then playing also too close, and the match supports. Okay, that was committed. Hook shot in from RTK. Picks up the Ancient Apparition as well. And Muji isn't quite close yet. I don't know why those match were down. Your Scepter up in the air. The silence is there from Super as well. They're just trying to chip away the Tier 2 tower, but the backdoor regeneration's kicked in. And this is why Super can't just take out this tower now. The Muji back towards the front lines, and more FY. Perfect blink, Frost Blast, Crypt Swarm, jumped himself away. The left shoulder, I thought Fenrir might have committed it just then. But he held off, the fortification is gone, and so is that on that exorcism. And they'll have to back themselves out. As Lanham was able to steal the whole thing.
Look at the chrono here.
Ice could reach Sylar, but the Mass Serpent Wars are still there for FY. They're timing out now, but at the same time, DK would have seen that, and that would have been enough to help him back up. Or make the decision to back up.
DK is really in trouble. Their items is not really keeping up at the rate that Vici Gaming is gaining the item. Mushi, if you look over him, looks like he's going to go for a Black King bar, which in theory keeps him alive, but not against a Blink Hex or a Blink Shackle. DK, they're just looking for a fight, and they get back off the farm, but Vici Gaming are never really giving them the fight. They're positioning themselves so well.
Gonna pick him up, drag him back, there's your Chrono, holding him out with the Exile. They will kill on Super at the same time. All they managed to do is kill on Super. You've still got RTK to hook him shot up. Cold trailing inside the Cold. They're getting killed off. Nice quad Sonic Wave. RTK will go down right now, and they got the buyback coming out from Super. Ice jumped himself up with the waveform from Lanham. Goes back down, getting killed off Glitch. They're moving back over to Mushi. Waveform off cooldown now for Sylar, but who's he go on? FY is trying to battle this one, but DK, they've got more reinforcements. And Super couldn't get back to the fight fast enough.
Fight 4 for nothing for DK. And that's exactly what I mean. You gotta find a fight, you gotta Chrono, you gotta Ice Blast, get a quick pick off, and then decide either you wanna retreat or move on. And the fact that they killed one of the most mobile, annoying cores out there, that's huge. Super, I mean, he could have disengaged with Yules. In fact, he's exorcism on
that is not a real Ancient Apparition. He's not a replicate, but he took so much damage, they thought it was real.
I mean, you just don't expect the enemy Rubik to steal Replicate and then makes one of the ally, right? They thought that was a real one.
That's one of those things where Sylar probably should be the one calling that one out. So they come down with the tail end of the exorcism. It's only got another 2-3 seconds. But there's a little bit of chip damage onto the Tier 2 tower burning. Back towards the front line. Serpent Ward. Wow, committal is high. Vici Gaming, they really want this Tier 2 tower. What was stolen this time, he actually finally gets what he was searching for, which is the wreck. And then he gives a straight Sylar. Where's that Chrono? It's still on cooldown, 26 seconds. FY with his Blink Dagger still waiting as well to hex up. Mushi closes one. Can't reach him with the Shackle. Tower, it will go down. Hook shot in from RTK. And then the waveform to follow up. The Shackle still over on Mushi. Giving a push back. And they're all jumping inside the cogs. Bouncing back out again. Somehow you've still fought. Well, RTK finally does go down. But Ice is going to join him. The Aegis Immortal brings Sylar up alive. They bring down the mid tower. And what was lost? Off lane for off lane. That was a trade, and Aegis, of course.
And your offlane has a Midas, so I think that was a great trade overall. Even though DK lost the tower, they didn't give up for free, they fought for it. It's offlane for offlane and Aegis, like you said. And I think that's a win for DK. They now have bought themselves more time. Anytime that you could force out those two ultimates and trade evenly, you gotta be happy if you're DK. So now they bought themselves more time. Burning's starting to become more and more of an issue. They are starting to have some difficulty in terms of killing them. Now with that said, Sylar hasn't gotten his shotgun yet, which he should be fairly close to. He's been farming quite well.
His Lincoln Sphere instead.
Okay, never mind. It seems like he's not farming well at all. At least not at the rate that he did in that game against Cloud9, where he was just farming out of control.
He still got himself a 19-minute Lincoln Sphere. We can't hit him up for that one. With an 8.5k net worth, the highest on the map. He's looking to go blink down. They found Queen of Pain, and now FY came with the Shackle. Just trying to get himself out. Hook shot now, making sure he stays exactly where they held him.
Exorcism being committed. I mean,
not sure about that.
Dire's
Because
middle
there's no
tower
tower
has
he can
been
do
denied.
either. There's no secondary advantage. It's like Vici game were expecting DK to jump in with Chrono and everything they had.
So that's a 100-second bot, essentially, for DK.
At the same time, you've still got, like, in 50 seconds, you've got your hookshot back. You've still got FY's Mass Serpent Wards. And it looks like a rotation up the top lane. They could just look to the tier 2 tower. By the time they reach that, sure, they won't have Exorcism up, but it doesn't really matter. Vici Gaming's pushing power is still quite high.
Yeah. One thing to be starting concerning Vici is that as they're pushing these tier 2s and especially high ground, a single Chrono that finds 3 or 4 and a good Ice Blast will just end the push. So Vici Gaming, especially with the Morphling as a core, eating those Ice Blast and eating a Sonic Wave after that is absolutely huge. In fact, I think again DK is looking for that type of fight. They're looking for a fight where Chrono gets 1 or 2 Ice Blasts and just go for a quick rip.
Vici Gaming are playing bait games. They fell for it before, and now they're trying to make DK fall for it. It's like the replica clockwork out in the side. Hoping that someone from DK would like waft a Chrono or something along these lines. RTK hookshot back off cooldown. How long until crop ulti? 35 seconds. Lich ulti is also still up, and FY is waiting for a jump in. But the Observer Ward is watching him very, very closely. So the second he goes in, it's going to be instantly spotted out by DK. And Silas also going to be a little bit careful with that waveform. He's trying to clean up the creep wave before DK is ready to fight. And they've committed to this one. Like, Ice actually getting pinged up. He's pinging himself saying, yo guys, like, you're backing up, but you've left me here alone in the tree line.
That's kind of where he wants to be anyways. It's fine.
He doesn't want to get scouted out. It's a place where RTK is never going to rocket to scout for him either.
This is a 2-man Chrono right here.
The problem is the 2 heroes are separated too far. You couldn't get the Ancient Apparition Blast at this range to hit both of them.
I think Sylar is kind of the most important one. If you get a clock as a bonus, great. He's pinging him out. It's like, I see 2, man.
Things are a little tense on the top lane while no one's wanting to engage.
I'm actually expecting FY to hex him out. Oh,
Where is it? Where is it? He's moving up.
Oh my god!
He's in the wall. Come on. He's so close. He could snip him from this range. And he's so close to Ice. Walk around the tree corner that way. There's path to victory right there.
I mean, essentially, this guy could do the same, right? Come around and hit him.
Yes, he could. Ice, if he leaves that, he's also going to slow down right there. He got the Hex, the Mass Serpent Ward, the Shack of the Skull Buddy's coming in the blood. F5 will die right now, but Ice will join him. The Lich on is bouncing around, burning, locked in by RTK. Silo waveformed himself back up again. 2 cores down for DK. Lanham waveforming himself out. And maybe MMY, if there's something that can stop him. Oh, there is! The Yule Scepter from Super picks him up, throws him down, and the ultimate of Exorcism will bring him in. 3 for the price of 1. And most of it was set up by FY discovering Ice in the trees.
Not only was it set up by FY, it was his entire team committing to bursting that Void down. If they didn't burst him down and if he was able to get off his Chronosphere, could have been a massively different fight. But not only did they get 3 kills, Vici Gaming protected their own tier 1 tower, added a ton of gold to their heroes and items. This is quite the swing. I thought DK was starting to stabilize after taking some good fights and a couple of towers and a nice defense, but Vici Gaming's right back in it.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming wasted so much time, and DK as well, in that top lane that Roshan is alive again. So Mass Serpent Wards might be down, same for Exorcism, but they still have enough damage they could get through it. I still love to. We're going to be looking at what is a 25, 26-minute mech coming out from Fenrir, taking himself a rather long time to get to that point. At the same time, Bloodstone's also approaching here for Super. And that's going to be a huge amount of regeneration in for a Death Prophet. That means never-ending spam of Crypt Swarm. That's what that means. G-Warning, Fenrir, waveform from Lana, nice. Chrono to kill off the Lich as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game plan. You're a walking Chrono, so spend it. Use it for that 1 kill if you have to.
See, I could understand that if you had like an Aghanim Scepter, but this is still a minute and a half. The Chrono's on the sidelines, the VG. They won't have that for the fight. A walking Chrono or not, when you got a support hero like that, you know he's not going to escape. You could save those kind of things. FY might die here in middle lane. Mushi, he triggers the DD rune. And, well, okay. FY doesn't want a bar of it. The Rocket actually comes in and scouts out Mushi in the trees. We've got pushing coming on from Burning on the bottom lane now. Tier 1 tower will be the primary focus. And Mushi, in fact, he just tries to make the most out of this DD rune. And the TP support's coming in. That's going to be the clockwork. And RTK, no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, you definitely should go for those scare tactics. If Queen of Blink blinks away, then you go for the
Bottom
deny.
tower has
100%
been
save,
denied.
right?
Yeah. But it was just the hook shot which he was faking,
Radiant's top
which I
tower
was
is under
not
attack.
really happy about. There's a central watch coming down here from VG Gaming. They're going to be really annoyed once they look at the replay of this one, just to see how close it is. This is where
Watch,
the vision
they're gonna
line
smoke
is.
right here. After they cleared up this crew wave, they're gonna smoke. And then DK's gonna see it.
Oh, up they come. Sylar hiding on the high ground, and they're going to actually use the Death Prophet fake one. Coming down, attacking, Lanham trying to do the deboarding for the moment, and now the exeter comes off. You'll step through the Reaper up and towards the end, and then hookshot from RTK. He's trying to actually force him out, one of an RTK being picked up, and top out of Chrono, and now the Chrono, big the goal as well. High, where's the bounce, burning, push in! The Sylar actually uses the damage, trying to push him in. Lanham called to mass server boards. It's 3-2 right now, but Vici with a scream, and a pick up FY as well.
Exquisite.
4 for 3. Oh, FY's denying his wards? Yep.
How many, man?
Okay,
How many?
is
Battle
under
it, battle it, battle
Okay.
it, battle it. Oh, okay. He can't deny his own himself.
That's just impressive. I mean, it's technically not very difficult to do, but I've never really seen pro players actually do it. And it makes sense to do it, man. There's a lot of gold you're giving away for free, but the big thing is that DK won an amazing fight, and yeah, it was Chronosphere that was spent to kill a Lich, but the two team postured around such that, you know, the ult came right back on, and I think Faceless Void is getting to a point where it's actually not really possible for Vici to go
Radiant's
and focus
top
him
tower
and then
is
kill him
under
before that
attack.
Chrono comes up. Now, once the shotgun comes online, that's a different story. Yeah. But Void is starting to get fairly tanky, and he's getting fairly scary.
Scarier he gets, the worse is for VG. Actually just checked out the graphs as well, and I know there's a certain pro player here which would describe this as a drastic change in the experience graph. It's gone up by about 3,000 experience. We're cracking about 5,000 gold advantage. Still left for VG Gaming, but when they have an 8,000 advantage to start with, that's one of those fights that just keeps DK alive in this engagement. And when you have a Razor, who was he? Is he actually going to go for BKB here? Like, should Burning even go for BKB, or does he need the Aghanims upgrade? Because right now, I'm still not seeing a pushing power coming out from DK.
I think in normal cases where you just want more damage, Aghanims is definitely the go-to case, but you definitely have a Queen of Pain helping you out in the damage department. So I see the value of simply staying alive. And Razor's one of those heroes that as you stay alive, you deal more damage by having Eye of Storm. So, you know what? I think it's fine. I think his team and himself isn't desperate for damage, so you could afford to go for the BKB.
Smoke movement from DK. They really want this to work for him. And Sylar is the only one they could catch out, but he's got a Replicate. So the second they see him, he waveforms, Replicates out, and they're like, ah, damn it.
There's that E-Blade. That's the damage that Vici Gaming was searching for.
They need that Morphling dead straight away. But then again, at the same time, they also need the Death Prophet dead straight away. Who do you focus?
Why not both? Just Chrono, Ice Blast. Easy, right?
You make it sound so.
Ideally, if you could focus Super before she gets her Exorcism off, I think that's the one. But it's so hard. Most of the fights, Super, you know, he used it for a solo kill, right? So he definitely will use it for fights.
This is going to be really frustrating if they have to smoke. Oh, they do.
That's what I'm saying. I told
they
you.
smoke right on top of the Observe Ward.
I told you they were going to smoke right here thinking it was safe. It's like, oh, we got a D-Ward.
Yeah. And now VG Gaming, where do they go? DK, they're going to be prepared for this. And actually, look at them. They move up and they're going to draw the battle line right here.
It's like, Burning,
this is the moment.
You take the
Yeah, Burning.
Here comes the Chrono.
And now Burning, he's almost dead. The shotgun hit him, but it wasn't enough to get the kill. Jump out by FY. He controlled eyes. The Chrono's still not there yet. Now he jumps in Chrono. Hits on 3. RTK, big sonic wave from Vici. Fenrir's going to go down. Super, the old is still doing some huge work. He's going to have a triple kill. Vici at the tree line. Sylar back on top of the Replicant. The chance to be there. Vici can't get anywhere from here. The range is still alive, but Burning is a long way away.
And Roshan is right there. They're going to get the Aegis after that fight.
Oh, this is huge. And what's really Burning going to do? He falls back to be part of this. If he goes in there and tries to snipe it and loses his life, well, he's coming in close. Ancient Emperor buys back to give it at least one blast. Didn't actually let it off from the base. That's still on cooldown.
You have to respect the Ice Blast, though. The fact that
You're going to respect the fact you should not be caught out. You'll step to with the silence as well.
Ice
The
Blast!
shotgun's
Ice
there.
Blast
It's
coming!
coming in for Burning. He doesn't have enough damage to do anything with it. And Super and Sylar, she moved up high enough, they didn't even get hit by
That's
it.
a dieback. He's out of it for 60 seconds.
This is huge. This is a big moment right now for VG Gaming. They jump in, they break the Hex, and then they go through with Roshan shackling him up, and they will kill him off here. As an Aegis model, that's a bonus experience, and the Grabs will go back the way of VG Gaming after that engagement.
So now
Roshan
he
has
killed
fallen
both.
to the dire.
He can only kill, ideally, Death Prophet. Who did he actually chrono in that fight? It looked so good for DK at the beginning of the fight. I think it was a Lich, perhaps, and maybe a Clockwork that was caught in.
He got Lich and Clockwork, that was basically it, dude. Ancient Apparition, on the bottom lane. Hexed up, forced up, away, and Fly will kill him off for copying the Ice Blast. But you've got an ultimate off cooldown exorcism in 10 seconds time. That's a full ultimate middle lane. Sylar, he doesn't have enough to finish Mushi. And he'll back himself away. In fact, he goes to his replica the bottom lane. They have Massive Wards and they have Exorcism. They also have 15 Bloodstone charges over on Super.
This could be Rax right here. After that Roche team fight, it was 5 kills, a buyback, another kill on AA, another tier 2 tower.
They're going to commit. They're going to commit.
Could be Rax.
They still have Mass Serpent Wards and half of the Exorcism duration left, and now FY. Mass Serpent Wards down, they mop up the creep wave, and with no fortification above, they use them to try and delay them on the tier 2 tower. DK are under siege. That tower, he played again the burning, down to half of his life points, already forced to use a very premature mech. And it's going to be VG Gaming backing up. They just do the damage to the tier 3 tower and retreat themselves away. And what do we got coming out on Courier? We got Point Booster in for FY now. So he's starting up to build his Aghanim Scepter for the Shadow Shaman. You got Sylar as 4,000 gold after already purchasing up the E-Blade. So if he wants to, he could look towards what he's wanting from Butterfly. While Face's boy still trying to finish up his BKB. Lanham has 4-star, but no Blink Dagger. And Mushi, what I think was the start of a Sight Defiance, is currently just an Ultimate Orb.
Yeah. I mean, I know I just said this like 5 minutes ago, where DK doesn't have damage issues, but with the last round of team fight and then now the items are ending up on Vici Gaming, they are starting to have damage issues. Yeah. And having BKBs on your Eyesight, Sight, Faces Void and Burning Razor, that doesn't really solve the problem. Razor hasn't had a new item for what it felt like 10 minutes because he's died multiple times, he has to buy back, so his BKB is going to come very late.
The only thing is, he didn't have to buy back during that last fight. He could have waited.
Yeah.
And if he didn't buy back, I think he
would have it.
He would have his BKB by now, and he would be joining Ice with the BKB.
Hindsight's 2020.
It is. That it is. You can judge it from an armchair. VG Gaming are coming down the middle lane, so they're ready to fight. They still have the Aegis Immortal over on Warfling, and ROTK, well, he's right next to Mushi, and now he's very, very close. After Battery Assault was considering going for the hook shot, but realized the blink away was going to make that next to impossible to hit. And without the Aghanim Scepter and ROTK, he's not going to start throwing these around too casually.
I know there was an infographic that just popped up about, you know, their place guarantees themselves $1 million, but don't count DK out just yet.
You can't. You really, really can't.
I mean, they're essentially working right now with a Wombo combo lineup. And those are the lineup that you don't count out because you, in theory, have a picture-perfect Chronosphere, Ice Blast on top of that, and a Sonic Wave. That will win the team fight.
Just need the picture-perfect positioning of VG Gaming, which means all 5 of them basically have to be grouped up to get hit by this. And also Ancient Apparition needs to be far enough back that he can get a good radius on that blast. Which means he can't be close enough to always give the Chilling Touch bonus damage, which you also need to give over to Face's Void.
So, yeah, I'm not saying it's very probable, but it's definitely possible.
You're trying to do what the Monty Python boys say. Look at the bright side of life. Ice. What you doing?
It's working on his hind legs. Doing some jumps.
Yeah. Do those squats. Down the Master down again. And Lanham stuffed in really close.
He's got it. He stole it.
He got Master Wards. He can actually return the Master Wards. Problem is right now he's silenced. Now will break off. But he's thrown in. Ice. He got ROTK, but more importantly, he got Super in this one. There's your AA Blast wave. That's 2. They've got 2 right now. Super, they need more damage. Mushi blinks up. There she goes.
Wait, she's gonna be dead. Is that even worth
7
it?
seconds. I don't know if it is, man. Mushi's on the sidelines. And look at, like, there's a buyback that comes out from the
Death
Clockwork.
Prophet's back alive
Yep,
again.
there was an 8-second death time because of those Bloodstone charges, and now TP's in towards the mid tower. They're coming as quickly as they possibly can. Mushi also, not even waiting, he buys back. And look where these mass serpent wards of Rubik ended up. They're outside the basin north of the south entrance.
Vici's coming in for the kill.
Ice is going out for the kill. He walks straight into Super, and RTK battery assault slows him down. Super, and the ulti go. AA blast, Yule Scepter. He's still got hip fires though. Ice walk in here, and where's that ultimate? Literally bouncing around on DK. They're not cleaning themselves fast enough. The Razor is on the sideline. At the same time, again, they kill off the Crom, but with the shotgun damage, Lanham, she pushes him back with the adaptive strike. RTK battery assault comes off cooldown, but he's still too far away, and there you go. Morphling wave forms himself up with the adaptive strike, gets the kill, and another buyback
Look
coming
at
out.
Ice though. In the middle, he's trying to push the wave.
He's creep skipping it. He's just creep skipping it as far as he possibly can and away to safety.
All right, he's back out of there. DK holds, sort of. Burning dies one more time, but he has at least finished an item before it. And meanwhile, Death Prophet dies once again. What used to be a 15 charge Bloodstone is now down to 6. Also, Aegis is running out, so I think Vici Gaming just actually got repelled for at least quite a while. Although, Massive Reward.
Yeah, they're now buffed up. Aghanim Scepter and level 2. Vici Gaming, well, they didn't lose a lot during that. They definitely lost a lot during that. The funny thing is, they didn't lose the Aegis. It's being reclaimed right now on top of Sylar.
Well, they could never even think about focusing.
Oh, now!
Ice
Is it the
Blast?
timing
Ice
for
Blast?
it? It just got claimed back! Oh, Sylar! It couldn't have been any worse! Now he goes
Okay.
around E-Blade, stopping Ice from attacking me to
But he was
BKB.
attacking creeps.
For some reason, he attacked creeps. Now he gets a time block first hit. Silence will have no effects there, Super. He's immune with BKB.
He's dead though.
Now he's in the corner. He needs more time. He needs more. He's trying to juke it. He can't do it. Can't backtrack that much damage.
Well worth the trade. Well worth the trade.
How is the timing for it? Silence got to be spitting chips right now.
I mean,
He
you just read it
basically-
down, man.
He lost the Aegis. Maybe it was perfectly calculated by DK. Maybe.
It definitely is, man. You don't make that type of play. If it wasn't perfectly calculated to use the Chrono for Aegis, you lose the game.
Yep. Now Super defending the bottom lane, but it's
Although
up at
thinking
top
about going
lane.
top.
Yeah, burning a Mushi. They're teaming up together and they're staring down. There's the blink up, but a very quick blink away by FY. The AE ulti was flying up too. That was meant for the lane. A little bit further down, hence off target. FY as well as Fenrir get back.
DK somehow still holding on. This is it wasn't meant to be their game to win, but they need to claw and fight their way back. Burning still very much so underfarmed. He has items I think Super had this item. I think last game was 15 minutes into the game. Yep. Super didn't go for the mech, but you know, that's the analogy. Burning, I just don't think he will get many kills at this point. His damage output is just not up there.
You're right.
So I'm not sure how he's gonna find the gold.
I'm not sure where he finds it from either. There's nothing on the courier, but I suppose if you're able to get yourself a couple more kills, the gold will come.
They really need a big 3 or 4 hero kills on the enemy side of the map, such that they could push at least 1 or 2 tier 2 towers. That's the kind of burst gold that you could get, and they're seeking for it again. The Chrono Ice Blast, it doesn't even matter if you're Morphling, you will just get killed. But that said, the Morphling does have a BKB now. BKB will not prevent the shatter of the Ice Blast, but it will prevent the ticking damage.
What a quick respawn time on Roshan. That's only 13 seconds of the 3 minutes. So he's up, but now he's already alive. VG Gaming, there's an invis rune on RTK.
This is the worst spawn that DK could have hoped for.
Yep. And they again, like, what are you going to do? Throw an Ancient Apparition ulti to check for it? You don't want it. You need to save this for your wombo combo. And they're waiting for somebody to come top lane. But it seems like VG Gaming don't care about their tier 2 tower on top. It has been abandoned. But if Mushi also shows himself, or the ISSI shows himself, then VG Gaming will say they've actually set traps on the tier 2 towers. Sylar's farming up Ancient back in the meantime, so there's money coming the way here of VG Gaming.
Yeah,
and Burning is just like, screw this. All right, tower, now.
I mean, as soon as Burning shows himself, VG Gaming is going into the pit.
They're in the pit. But look, Queen of Pain Illusion. It got adapted strike from inside the pit. The ping comes straight away. That came out from Mushi. And now VG Gaming, they might actually commit mass surplus. There's the coming in. And that's going to slow down VG Gaming. But Roshan, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. They did just do a tier 2 tower trade for Roshan. But that's Aegis and cheese into the hands of VG Gaming.
Top tower
That's going to make the next fight much more difficult. Is DK going to avoid for 6 minutes? Can they avoid for 6 minutes? We've seen Cloud9 do things like that, but they also have heroes that are much more well-equipped for that sort of job. I mean, I don't think DK could split push.
DK.
I mean, Queen of Pain in theory can, right? Ice tried earlier.
Technically, Ancient Apparition can from inside of his base as well, but it's not going to mean it's going to be as effective.
Right? There's just like there's a clockwork on the map, and it's just so hard to split push against a hero like that.
Sylar has his full Skadi. 40 minutes into the game. He bought both the orbs on that top lane when he was in combat, and now the whole thing is on him. So you got a 2,000 life point Morphling who's actually put basically everything he's got from strength into agility. He wants as much damage out from that hit as he possibly can make.
Technically, still killable.
Technically, yes, but they need the blast. Ice jumped in. There's your Chrono, Sylar. He's going to pop up the BKB, which means there's actually Ice. Here goes your Chrono, finally. And what's he doing? He's just TPing out. It's just a safety. It's a safety Chrono.
That's an issue. So
Yes.
what do you do when Vici storms down top or mid or anywhere?
What you do is hit Sylar with a Chrono before he gets the BKB.
But there's no chrono now.
Yeah, true.
So Vici are coming. There's no chrono.
If Vici can get themselves a kill on the bottom lane as well, like you've got a double jumping coming from ROTK as well as FY. These guys are literally like Bash and Hex brothers. All they gotta do is just getting close, and the Rocket's giving him the vision. They see defense is not really ready at the moment, and here comes Super. 4 seconds until Exorcism, and he is ready to fight. Sylar also up towards the front lines. Oh, poor Penny starting up with Bunny. He's close enough to get that to strike, and the Master Wards go down. Again though, as his Trip Swarm being solid, and a hook shot in from ROTK. The Cog's gonna split the fight out, force up back out again, but Super's ultimate just obliterates the side. And Bunny is trying to hold off the Sonic Wave, all being fixed up by the mech, and Super back down again, Morphling. Waveforms in, hitting into Burning so hard. Target's going to at least slow him down a little bit, but the bottom rank's already gone down. That is already victory right there for Vici Gaming as far as the bottom lane as well as the fight.
That's what happened when you miss the chrono. They cannot miss anymore. They have no more chances. Technically, they have 2 Raxes left, but the tipping point is you lose one more Rax, the game is just essentially unwinnable.
I'm not even sure the chrono is going to be enough anymore. These BKBs on both Morphling as well as Super, if he gets them off, when you pop the chrono down, your Ancient Apparition Blast, your Sonic Wave, or your range damage that you want to be pumping up, nothing will be done.
Not against Sylar, but the fact, if you could, in theory, actually Super also has a BKB. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. The double BKBs on the 2 biggest cores of Vici Gaming. This is massively problematic for DK. They basically need not only like the perfect chrono with heroes in it, but they need the surprise chrono. Something that Vici Gaming don't see coming.
They need to have Vici to make a mistake, which is not activating those BKBs or clumping very, very hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
Vici Gaming are not going to give them.
They are playing so well. I mean, this is the second best of 3. They played. This is their 4th game. They look fresh. They're not making many mistakes.
Man, if they're going to go through and try and get themselves a grand final, they got to be fresh. Mushi, oh, he got hook-shotted in. He was TPing out, and the Cogs push him up on top of the hill. He was inside the Roche pit trying to finish up his guys' life because he couldn't get his own shot. And now up on top lane, they go in deeper, but it's a replicant. Silent just jumps himself out. No chrono being expended, however. So he's still going to be okay from that one, and Mushi should be counting his lucky stars. He's having to blink and run himself back to base because he's got no TP scroll. And Vici Gaming know this. Super, Exorcism's off cooldown. Let's go high ground. Now Zerpward's it down, and well, jump out. Woohoo, ladder! I know you die. Zerpward's he's gone. He's down. The Grips won't reach him. Chrono's up in the air. But then again, Super, you'll never up. He's also still doing some serious work. Runs to the sideline, and Super, he does go down with Sylar on the high ground. Ice goes down. Moving to Mushi, undercover of BKB, able to get a wave burning. Where's your wave bomb? There's your rocket from ROTK. That'll bring down Razor. The mid-melee rank being pushed down by Vici Gaming as well. Behind down Mushi. FY might go down in, but Mushi will lose his own life. FY keeps the shackle on MMY and the Cogs from ROTK. 100% perfect position. Locked in one, pushed out the other. And the range racks will now go down the mid. And Vici Gaming, they don't have the Crobulus, but they're still got an insanely fat Morphling that's going to move up and take the top ranks as well. Or do they take a kill? It's burning! It's burning! Razor shackled up. This could be almost it. They've got no heroes left up at GG! Vici Gaming will advance through as they 2-0 out DK and get themselves a date with EG.
They take down Cloud9. They take down DK. I think if VG's watching, they should be very, very afraid.
I would be very, very afraid. But EG are fresh. EG will have had time to analyze their opponents today, and they've got to be ready. They will be coming to the main stage next, and of course, the winner of that matchup will go to the grand final. But I still want to give massive props. DK, they managed to fight through the best Dota 2 teams in the world and still claim 4th position here at the International, which currently is $819,000 and 107.